there were 3-4 orders to be done. मैं आपको बताता हूँ. Now, one requirement which people are getting is they want it dynamic in terms of closing stock value. Is it clear? So Ritesh, you have to practice this and then only I'll get it. So now in order to make it dynamic, if I'm going at the batch level, ये batch है, ये है ना. If I'm going at the batch level, then I'm coming down to this place. Is this clear? Beta, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So Rohit, there are 2 orders which have been closed. So मैं आपको बताता हूँ. One was that, and the problem that the client that day was asking was that the closing stock number is to be dynamic. Is it clear? So now how do you make this thing dynamic? So the way to do it is you first join the stock item batch inventory details with the date dimension. Is that point clear to both of you? Yes or no? You know how to join the stock item batch inventory details to date dimension? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Bachcha, is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Clear, no, beta? This I don't need to do because I made this on my end. So you join it with the date dimension with the this thing. So I made this into a date and join it with a date dimension using the relationship view. Do I need to go that side? Yes or no? Okay. Now, if I want to make this thing dynamic, you simply pick this up. Is it clear? Put it into the notepad and do Control N, Control V. Now, if I want to make it dynamic by date, you see this here. Now you go and pick up any of the cash balance where you have calculated the maximum date. Is this clear? Yes or no? Everybody, if there's a problem,
Yes,
just
sir.
tell me and simply paste it here. So this closing stock by this thing can be made dynamic. That means I do not need, so based on this particular date filter, that means you're saying that, okay, I'm selecting minimum, I'm selecting maximum. I should be able to pick up this. So that means that if I pick this up, and I say Control C and I put it as this, and I add a new column. Correct? And I'll paste this onto the new column. So what will happen is it will filter this particular table based on the maximum date, which is given here. Is this clear to everybody? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
ये पोर्शन आएगा? Yes or no? Is this clear? Yes or no, guys? So I have added the maximum. So if I'm using a slicer, then it will come to less than equal to date compare. correct? And I get this here. But it does not stop here, because if I put this closing stock dynamic here, I still need to group by a date because it's using a row level context. So if I simply use only the slicer and then accept the closing balance quantity, I'll just show you how it works. It will still not work. See, what's happening is gross profit and cost of goods sold are cumulative. See, this is where your concept of data modeling will come in. Right. That means, so I can use the slicer at any time. Is this clear? Yes or no? But cost or but your closing stock is what exactly? It's a snapshot valid for a point in time. With a time peg, it is valid. This is my closing stock. It is not a cumulative thing. So now we are investigating whether the closing stock can work with the date slicer. Is this point clear? Yes or no? Clear है कि नहीं है?
Yes, sir.
Right. So first step is to make the closing stock valuation dynamic, for which I have made this change. मैंने all selected use किया. This all selected is saying कि boss, whatever is my selected time range, year, month, उसकी last date मेरे को ले लो बस. And whatever is less than equal to the last date, you simply pick it up. Is this point clear? Yes or no? यहां तक तुम्हें साफ सवाल है कि नहीं है? So if I pick this up, I pick this up, I pick up the batch name, I pick up the go down name, and then I pick up the company name, and I also pick up the stock item name. Is this clear? And then I pick up this dynamic range. ये वाला dynamic वाला. Is this clear, beta? Yes or no? Okay. But now I have to also pick up the date. So now if I go up here and I use a slicer, and this slicer which I'm going to pick up is going to be the date here. तो मैं इसको dynamically move करता हूं. So then this is dynamically moving because I have done a join at the back end. ये clear है कि नहीं है? Is this clear? ये clear हो रहा है बेटा कि नहीं हो रहा है? But if I remove the date and I try to move the slicer, oh, sorry. But if I remove the date from here, then this number does not come out correctly, because this is sum आता है, average don't summarize. तो जहां पे भी मैं don't summarize करता हूं, वो number of rows दे देता है. If I try and summarize it, because I can't summarize it, it's not cumulative, it's a snapshot. Are you both guys getting the concept here? If it's a cumulative, then I should be able to sum it, but cost of goods closing stock is not a cumulative, so I can't summarize it at this level. Yes, I can average it. ये समझ में आया बेटा कि नहीं आता? एवरेज विल बी कमिंग आउट कि मेरी एवरेज कितनी थी इस टाइम पे. But I can't do a sum. But he says no boss, I want it on the last date. इससे जो भी इसकी last date है मेरा closing stock balance, because that is going to be going into my trial balance. Is this point clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no beta? So your concept comes into it. So you remember the client on Friday was coming and telling, sir, आप मेरे को closing stock balance last day पे दे दो. Did he not say that? And the same, another client on Saturday also said, right? So what you would need to do is, ये तुमको समझ में आया बेटा कि नहीं आया? हेलो?
हाँ सर, ठीक है.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
अभी तक समझ में आया कि नहीं आया? Now what we are going to try, I'm not committing onto this, but try onto this is in order to try and get the closing stock balance on the last date and see whether it works. See, your opening stock plus total purchase value minus cost of goods sold is equal to closing stock value. ये तुम्हें समझ में आया बेटा कि नहीं आया? So you guys already have opening stock. You have total purchase value with you, which is your total inward value. So everybody just practice this once. ये inward value है ना amount की. Yes or no? Yeah, I have any questions up till now? Now what happens is I say control V. Correct? I put this here. Correct? Yes or not, guys? And I pick up
Yes,
this
sir.
date dimension. So my opening stock is static, but the inward is dynamic and cost of goods sold is dynamic. Is this clear? Yes or no? Anyone having a question, you can just answer me here, right? This is dynamic. Now the case is, can I keep just one object? But right now I've kept it dynamic separately. Okay, I press this here, enter. Now what I will do is, I will seek to make a measure in which I will go step by step. So measure step 1 is going to be equal to opening stock value plus invert value. Yes or no? Minus cost of goods sold. Have we calculated cost of goods sold here? इसमें आया था बेटा कि नहीं? रोहित, इसमें what is the way of calculating the cost of goods sold? ये रहा ना, cost of goods sold. ये तरीका है.
Yes, sir.
Rohit, what was the exact formula in your sheet?
Yes, sir. नहीं, ये है weighted average rate into sales inventory quantity. ये लेजर ग्रुप सेल्स का हटा दो, कोई उससे मतलब वो नहीं है. ये है सिंपल weighted average rate into sales inventory quantity.
Into sales quantity ना?
हाँ हाँ.
Right ना? Sales.
Yes, sir. ये है ना,
ये वाली.
है तो बस इतना ही है जो उसमें है, बस इतना हटा
हाँ
दो
बेटा.
सर. ये है ना फॉर्मूला है तो weighted average rate into sales quantity. हटा दो, ये सेल्स के लगा रहे हो आप.
नहीं, जो सेल्स क्वांटिटी कौन सी वाली? यही ना तुम्हारी?
हाँ ये है बस.
ये वाली ना?
ये, हाँ ये वाली.
Is that what it is?
यस सर. सही है, ये भी सही है.
यही है ना बेटा?
हाँ.
Yes or no?
यस सर.
So what I will seek to do is I will say invert value dynamic minus cost of goods sold. So now for a poor face of mind. Sorry, dear. Sorry. Skip. Yeah, and inward amount. So here at this level, your cost of goods sold is going to be equal to So cost of goods sold weighted average is equal to weighted average rate into then the sales. यहाँ पे जो सेल्स क्वांटिटी होगी ना, so one person is getting into the live project. So I'm doing this live here, but others should practice it and keep on adding to your resume and whatever is the this thing. Here we go. So now cost of goods sold is equal to weighted average rate into sales underscore inventory ये हुआ ना बेटा, is it clear? Yes or no बच्चों? ये हुआ ना cost of goods sold.
Yes, sir.
Now what I will try is I will try and make a measure which is this. Let's see whether it works or I get circular dependency and I can get a dynamic cost of goods sold at the end of the period. So now I put it as opening stock. So this opening stock is not coming in. But cost of goods sold will come. Minus plus ये ट्राई करके देखें, प्लस ओपनिंग स्टॉक तो कुछ है नहीं ना, फिर ये तो कॉलम से आएगा ना। Is this clear? Because this is basically saying this. So I'm picking up the opening value from here. But I can also put up the go down name, right? Is everyone getting clear on this? Go down. Is equal to stock Is this clear? Yes or no? Oh, I'm just coming. I just want. That's it. Oh. So I put up opening stock dynamic. Is this clear? Let us try and see whether we can make this measure, because this will give me my closing stock dynamic. ये हो गया? So I can't make a measure like this. But what happens if I make a column? This measure is not coming out, right? So I cancel this and try and make a column. Because at certain point of time, if I need to make my balance sheet, I need the closing stock value, which is dynamic. So I pick this up here. And now I paste this. Let's see whether this works. No, dear, it does not work. Correct. Plus correct plus is this clear? Does this work? Let's see.
सर आप माइनस क्यों लिए हो? कॉलम इज इक्वल टू
Now
माइनस
minus cost of goods sold, ना opening stock plus invert minus cost of goods sold is your
Okay.
closing stock value. So it's a circular dependency. Now I take this entire measure and if we try and make a measure out of it, then Rohit, जरा एक बार check करना. I'll just give you this file also. Okay? Can you do it through a measure? नहीं हो पा रहा. Dynamically नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ इसको. अभी इसको because you have to group by date. Even if you slice, then you need to get the closing stock value group by date. Final date पे नहीं आ पा रहा मुझसे. ठीक है? So I'll give you this file, Rohit, and this thing. So and give me about 10-15 minutes. I will discuss another problem with you guys, which is of dynamic, वो जो date वाला आएगा. ठीक है ना? Then I'll fix up Rohit for it, and he can take it up from there. Okay, I'll give you this file, and you can start.